This is Samuel from barbershopquest.com, and today I wanted to talk about why most barbershops fail. And generally most businesses, 80% of businesses fail. And that's a fact. And it's only 20% of businesses that usually make it within the first 3 years. And generally, even with failure, I hate the word failure. And failure is not even failure. Failure is just a learning experience. It's a hard learning experience, but we all have to learn it. Think about when you rode the bike. You fall down a couple of times before you're able to get up and actually be able to ride the bike. But that's just a bike, right? We're talking about a business. We're talking about your life savings. We're talking about time. Time, effort, energy, money into a business. So when you do fail, it hurts. Matter of fact, I think the 20% are usually the 80% that get back up on their feet, that start themselves, put a smile on their face, and freaking go back and pursue their dreams. And learn from all the mistakes and challenges and become successful. And of course, that makes you tougher and that makes you stronger. So today I wanted to go over about 4 or 5 reasons why most barbershops fail, or most businesses fail, and also use my own experiences and my own example, and also to give you an idea, and also to get you prepared. That's actually the main purpose of the video, is to get you prepared for this venture that you're about to start. Whether you're a barber, whether you are going to be a barbershop owner, more specifically, this is why I made this video. The first main reason why most barbershops fail is due to the location. The location is so huge. The location is so important. It's like most people will open at a location where it's very crowded, or it might be a location that you think is good and it's in your eyes, it looks like it's gonna be popping, right? It's gonna be a very profitable location, but in reality, it's not. And me personally, I remember when I found the place for my barbershop, I wish in my eyes it looked good. It looked like a perfect neighborhood. There weren't any barbershops close by. The rent was good, and I looked a little bit around and went there a few days and then jumped on it. But even today, on hindsight, if I was supposed to start a barbershop, what I'll do is I'll definitely make sure that I spend more time, looking at the location, And I know a lot of times it's hard because we are very anxious and we are very excited to get started. I was so excited, I was so anxious to start something as soon as possible, And the options were kind of limited, in terms of going through Craigslist, going through real estate agents, and going through shops that are available. It was kind of limited. So I was like anxious to jump on something, whatever I have, after a little bit of research, But today, if I was to do it again, or my advice out there, especially if you're going to start a barbershop, is to definitely look for an area that you're going to make money, An area that is not very crowded, that's definitely a must. And also an area where, there's not a lot of things going on, in terms of drugs going on around the area, in terms of the traffic, how much traffic is going on that goes by to the area. Are there a lot of people in the area? Are there, like your market demographic, people that are going to come and get a haircut with you? Are there a lot of people like that in your area as well? So these are things that I'll definitely look out for, if just for the area. Right. The second thing I'll look out for, and the second reason why most barbers will fail, is the kind of service. Which area are you? Are you in a Spanish dominated area? If it is, are you gonna have Spanish barbers there? Is it in more of a Caucasian kind of area? Caucasian hair is somewhat different from African American hair. And different people, different races based on where you are. Different cultures and different things. There's so much things going on. So this area that you are in, which I said, I cannot stress the area enough. The area is so key. But once you find the area, then also you want to make sure that you provide the right kind of service for the people that are in the area. And also, how much are you going to charge? If you based on the area that you are, are they students? Most of the college students don't like to spend so much money on things. If they're taking a car, they would like to carpool all the time. If they are gonna get a haircut, they won't want to pay too much for a haircut. If there's a lot of students, you might say, oh, it's a lot of students, I'm gonna go here, and then your expense and your budget is geared, or it's you set up a barber shop that is very expensive and you expect to make a lot of money back. I understand, but then it's like the market, which are mostly for students, for example, are not going to pay you a lot of money for a haircut. So now what are you going to do? Is it in a rich kind of neighborhood where people will pay a lot of money for a haircut? Are there a lot of people? Are there older people, senior citizens? These are all questions that you need to ask. And are you going to have the right kind of contractors or barbers to be able to provide this kind of service to the people that are going to come and get a haircut? So that's like a very important question to ask. The third question to ask is also if you have a lot of capital. This is so key. And it's, matter of fact, it should be the second question you should ask yourself, because it's so important. Do you have enough capital? Do you have enough gas, cash to take you through the first 3 years? Worst case scenario, the first 6 months. If nothing comes in, if not even a fly shows up in the barbershop, are you going to have enough money to be able to hold you down, to be able to pay for your bills, your expenses, and everything that involves running the barbershop? And most of the times it's not that you're a bad businessman, or because you do not have the right skills to run a business. It's that most business people, entrepreneurs, don't have enough money, enough gas to propel the rocket, which is their business, into space. And a lot of times, during the point where it's about to break through, that's when there is no money. Trust me, business is hard. And sometimes it's gonna be very slow at first. And so you gotta be prepared. So do you have enough capital? And I made a video on this on my channel. My other channel, Samuel Armour. I have a video on it. I talk even more about it. But also make sure I have enough capital. If you haven't had enough, saved enough, make sure you take your time and save enough. So the fourth reason why most businesses fail is also they adapt to change. A lot of times there's a lot of changes. People, prices might be going up. There might be events in the area. Now social media is like a big thing. I know a few years down the line, most people are going to be getting or setting up appointments through their app system or through the phone. And this is something. Are you prepared to change when things change? You have to be a great visionary, but also you have to be very keen and very subtle into noticing the small or the little changes that goes on in the industry. So you have to be willing to change when things are changing. Things like postcards. I remember I was doing a lot of postcards and passing out flyers, which is good. But now, even where most people can be rich is through their phones, and that involves social media. So if you're stuck in the era of passing out flyers, it's like you're not going to reach a lot of people, and that's going to affect your business. So all these things are examples of things that you need to be aware of when you are going to start a barbershop. And finally, you have to, when it comes to being a businessman, right? And this is also key, right? This is kind of like, and also a very, very important point, and a very, very important question to ask yourself. And generally, to be a businessman, you have to be good at accounting. You don't have to be overly like a survey, have a master's degree or a doctorate degree in accounting, but you have to be able to do basic accounting. Account for all your receipts, account for all your expenses, and account for everything basically that goes on the business. You don't have to be super savvy, but you have to be able to do the basic things. So this is something that you have to be able to know and be able to do as well. Secondly, can you are you able to know your profit and loss margins? This is also very basic. Are you running at a profit or are you running at a loss? And generally, how much you make each month, how much you keep, and how much you spend. How much you really keep, that is how much profit you make. So that's something that you need to know as well. And pardon me if it's a little bit noisy. I'm in this farm place, and the guy is trying to mow the lawn, so it's gonna be a little tiny bit noisy, but I'm always bringing the video to an end, so please pardon me and bear with me. So accounting, you have to know your profit and loss margins. You also have to be a finance savvy, and finance just not for your business but also for yourself. This also undermines a lot of entrepreneurs and people that are going to start their own business, especially a barbershop. You have to be able to know your finances. You have to keep your personal finances in check, even first, before you're able to start a business. Because a business is like an entity. That's why they say it's an entity. It's like a life form in itself. So your business finance should be intact, just as your own finance should also be intact. So you have to be a finance savvy as well. And if you are not, you could start reading books and also watching YouTube videos on finance, just the basic stuff. You don't have to go crazy, but just the basic stuff about finance just to get you started. And also about marketing. I made a video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Samuel. I'm actually on barbershopquest.com. There's a video on this channel that talked about marketing, and the various forms of marketing. You have to be able to market, because marketing is a huge part of the business. All big businesses are marketing all the time. McDonald's, they are marketing all the time. Starbucks, Staples, all the big businesses, they are marketing all the time, 24/7. They're finding ways and means to market all the time. And in terms of your barbershop, you have to find ways in which you're going to market and in which you're going to affect your client and get them to come. Purchasing and retailing, meaning buying your equipment for your shop and also buying things at discounts and things like that, and which I go over on my website, because I'll be providing a lot of information and resources, and also a lot of links onto discounts on your barbershop equipment, barbershop staff, anything barbershop, we'll have it on Barbershop Quest. But also in general, wherever you are, you have to be able to know how to buy and shop for these things, right? So I know I went over different things, but these factors will play a huge role in determining whether you're going to be successful in the barbershop industry and not fail. Because these are some of the top reasons why most barbershops and most entrepreneurs or most business people fail, because of these reasons, because they were not knowledgeable enough in these areas. And like I said, you don't have to be a survey, you don't have to have a master's degree in all these areas. You don't even have to personally know all these areas, but you could even have people, people in place that are more surveying some of these areas than you do. But you have to have it all together, intact, for you to be run, for you to become a successful business person or a successful barbershop owner as well. So I hope these tips help you out. To conclude, like I would say, there's nothing like failure. Do not be scared. There's nothing like failure. The possibility is very high, but if you with enough preparation, you're gonna be successful. And to leave you with this, the final notice, it's not like a football team or playing a football game, right? And I know in sports, both of the teams have their drills. They have all their plays practiced, and that is, they have all their things memorized, like the things that I talked about, in terms of the accounting, in terms of the area, in terms of the things. They have all their drills and things drilled out into their veins, and they go and play. But in the play, realize that the winners of most games come down to being very flexible and very in the moment. Meaning, in the moment, a play that you worked on might not be appropriate, but you could twist a play or basically use your play or your knowledge to make a right decision in the moment. There are so many moments in sports, because I'm a big fan of sports, where there was a play or there was a move that saved the game or won the game, and it was not necessarily the play that was practiced on the practice field, you know. But you have to practice, you have to know your place, right? So, like I said, I'll highlight all these points. Just to summarize, you have to find a good area. You have to make sure you have enough capital. You have to make sure that you are accounting savvy. You know profit and loss margins. You know a little bit of finances. You know how to shop for your retails and stuff. You have to manage. You also have to know how to manage your employees and stuff like that, and a few more. You know. So I definitely hope these tips helped you out. This is Sam from barbershopquest.com. Make sure you subscribe below for new videos when they do come out. Make sure you follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media network. You can hit me up on random stuff. I'm always there to talk to you, and also to answer your questions or to give you the resources that you need that will help you out as well. So this is Samuel from barbershopquest.com. Take care, and until next time.